Hello students, welcome for the English class. Today we will start the chapter 2 of Honeydew, the Tsunami. Tsunami is a long high sea waves caused by an earthquake or other disturbances in the sea or ocean. This chapter is based on a real incident. Actually, on December 26, 2004, a tsunami hit Thailand and some other parts of India, such as Andaman and Nicobar Island and Tamil Nadu coast. In this chapter, there are some stories of courage and survival of the people as well as the animals. The story of this chapter also shows that animals have an extra sense to know the upcoming danger or any other natural disaster. Now, let's start the text of the chapter. Part first. These stories are all from the Andaman and Nicobar archipelago. Archipelago means a group of many islands and the surrounding sea. That means the story of the first part is related to an Indian island, Andaman and Nicobar. Now, the first story is related to a person named Ignatius. Here, Ignatius was the manager of a cooperative society in Karchar. His wife woke him up at 6 a.m. because she felt an earthquake. Ignatius carefully took his television, set off its table, and put it down on the ground so that it would not fall and break. Then the family rushed out of the house. Here, Ignatius is a Persian who was the manager in the cooperative society in Karchal. Karchal is also a place in Andaman and Nicobar Island. Now, one day his wife felt an earthquake, bhukam. That's why he woke him Ignatius up, and Ignatius also wake up, and at first he took off his television on the earth so that it would not fall and break. क्योंकि earthquake आया था, भूकंप आया था, that's why उसने सबसे पहले television को नीचे रखा जिससे वो टूटकर गिर न जाए. And then they decided to run away from the house. When the tremor stopped, they saw the sea rising in the chaos and confusion. Here, chaos and confusion means complete disorder. Two of his children caught hold of the hands of their mother's father and mother's brother and rushed in the opposite direction. He never saw them again. His wife was also swept away. Only the three other children who came with him were saved. Now, when the earthquake stopped, suddenly they saw the sea was rising and it was coming towards them. Now, when they saw a sudden danger, they also became very confused, and in that confusion, they started to run away here and there in opposite direction. As you know, two of his children caught the hold of his mother's father and mother's brother. Here, mother's father means Nana ji और mother's brother मामा जी. उन लोगों ने अपने नाना जी और मामा जी का हाथ पकड़ा और अपोजिट डायरेक्शन में चले गए. ही नेवर सॉ देम अगेन, और इग्निशियस ने उन्हें दोबारा कभी नहीं देखा. हिज वाइफ ऑल्सो स्वेप्ट अवे, उसकी वाइफ भी बह गई उस सुनामी में. ओनली द थ्री अदर चिल्ड्रन हु केम विद हिम वर सेव्ड. ओनली ही वाज सेव्ड विद हिज थ्री अदर चिल्ड्रन. Second story is related to a person Sanjeev. Now start. Sanjeev was a policeman serving in the Karchal Island of the Nicobar group of islands. He somehow managed to save himself, his wife and his baby daughter from the waves. Actually, Sanjeev is a policeman और उसने अपने आप को बचा भी लिया था और वो अपनी वाइफ और डॉटर के साथ बाहर आ गया था. But then he heard cries of help from the wife of June, the guest house cook. Sanjeev jumped into the water to rescue her, but they were both swept away. Here, rescue means save, to save, bachana. But Sanjeev was saved himself, but suddenly he saw a cry from the wife of Joan. Joan was the guest house cook, and his wife was crying for help. And when Sanjeev heard the cry of Joan's wife, he jumped into the water to save his wife. But unfortunately, both means Joan's wife and Sanjeev both were washed away in tsunami, and they also dead. Now, next story is related to Meghna. 13-year-old Meghna was swept away along with her parents and 77 other people. She spent 2 days floating in the sea, holding on to a wooden door. 11 times she saw relief helicopters overhead, but they did not see her. She was brought to the shore by a wave. Shore means bank, kinara, and was found walking on the seashore in a daze. Meghna was a girl of 13 years and she was also swept away in the tsunami with her parents and 77 other people. Now, actually, she was alive. She spent 2 days floating in the sea, but still she was alive because she was holding a wooden door. एक लकड़ी का दरवाजा था, उसको वो पकड़ी हुई थी. 11 times she saw relief helicopter. उसने हेलीकॉप्टर को 11 टाइम देखा, but they were unable to saw her and rescue her. उसे बचा नहीं पा रहे थे क्योंकि वो लोग उसे देख ही नहीं पा रहे थे. At last, a forceful wave came and took Meghna on the bank of the ocean, on the bank of the sea. And when she became conscious, जब वो उसे होश आया, then she found herself on the seashore in a daze. Daze means astonishment. अचंभित पाया उसने अपने आप को. Next story is related to Almaz Javed. Now, Almaz Javed was 10 years old. She was a student of Carmel Convent in Port Blair, where her father had a petrol pump. Her mother Rahila's home was in Nankori Island. The family had gone there to celebrate Christmas. Actually, Alma's father uh, and Alma's mother and Alma's also, they lived in Port Blair. And there her father had a petrol pump also. But now they came in Nankori Island because it was the Alma's mother's home. Actually, you can say Alma की नानी का घर था वो. That's why they came to celebrate Christmas there. When the tremors came early in the morning, the family was sleeping. Alma's father saw the sea water reset. Reset means होता है go back, वापस जाना. He understood that the water would come rushing back with great force. He woke everyone up and tried to rush them to a safer place. As you know, it was the Christmas night, and that's why all were tired. That's why they were sleeping after celebrating Christmas. And tsunami came on 26 December, means next day of the Christmas. At that day, Alma's family was also sleeping, and Alma's father saw that the sea water was going back, but he understood. He understood that if the water was going back, that I'm sure that it will come with great force. That's why he tried to woke all the family up and tried to rush out from the house. As they ran, her grandfather was hit on the head by something and he fell down. Her father rushed to help him. Then came the first giant wave. Giant means big. Giant wave and swept both of them away. Means as they were running out from the house, suddenly her grandfather hit with something and he fell down. That's why Alma's father came to help him. But he came to help his grandfather, but suddenly a big wave of sea came and washed away both of them. Alma's grandfather and his father also. That means they were also died. Alma's mother and aunts stood clanging means holding, to the leaves of a coconut tree, calling out to her. A wave uprooted the tree and they too were washed away. But Alma's mother and aunt, they were still alive and they were holding a coconut tree. They were calling out also to her. But suddenly a great wave came with force and uprooted. Uprooted means उखाड़ देना. उसने ट्री को ही उखाड़ दिया जिसको उसकी मदर और आंट ने पकड़ा हुआ था. And they means Alma's mother and aunt. They were also washed away in the tsunami. Alma saw a log of wood. Log means piece यानी कि लकड़ी का टुकड़ा floating. She climbed on it. Then she fainted. When she woke up, she was in a hospital in Camorta. From there, she was brought to Port Blair. The little girl does not want to talk about the incident with anyone. She is still traumatized. Traumatized means greatly shocked. जब अल्मा की पूरी फैमिली की डेथ हो चुकी थी, suddenly Alma saw a log of wood floating, and then she climbed on that log of wood, and after that she became fainted. Fainted means unconscious, बेहोश हो गई वो. And when she woke up, she found herself in a hospital, and there she was brought to Port Blair, और वहाँ से उसे पोर्ट ब्लेयर लाया गया. After that, many people want to talk her about the incident, but she was in a shock. Actually, this little girl lost her family. Then it's normal. She was in a shock and she did not want to discuss this incident with anyone. So, students, we have completed the first part of the chapter. We will discuss the next part of this chapter in the next video. Thank you.